Hey!
Hello, my mimics. Welcome back to the Mimic Commentary. We are on the glorious episode number 10. And if you were watching this as it's uploaded to members, it's been a while since I released an episode. I was away on vacation. If you're watching this when it's been given to the public, it's probably just been 2 days. So we're going to jump back in. I have to just get my bearings and remember what we were going to do. Last time, we were talking about Patches and how he might be a kind of a meta character, a Miyazaki stand-in to push us towards gameplay. And after we beat him, came back, he opened up a shop, and he added another chest, and we're going to ask him about that chest.
Welcome to Patches Emporium. Wondering what's inside the treasure chest. Well, it's nothing too special. Just something I'm saving as thanks for a very valuable customer. But then again, it would fetch some spectacular coin. And besides, this valuable customer could be a long time coming. Huh? Everything is give and take. Give and take.
Gosh, don't you just love him? So we are actually not going to open up that chest right now. I was thinking that we might open that chest and then take it where it leads us, but instead we are going to go down to the beach and finish up Bach's questline, and then go to the Weeping Peninsula. But before we do that, we're going to take a chat with all the other NPCs, see if they have something interesting to tell us before we continue on. I just want to say, though, Patch is trying to bait us into opening that chest, saying that it's something very spectacular in there, it's very expensive, but a special customer he's waiting for to open that up. I think it's kind of funny. He's kind of built into this game to push you towards gameplay, and that's exactly what that chest will do, but that isn't the type of gameplay we want to do yet. So I'm going to go stop at each of our NPCs, see if they have something interesting to say. If they do, I'll meet you there. If not, I'll meet you going down towards the beach. All right, and we're back. They had nothing interesting to tell me because I haven't done anything interesting to get their attention. 10 episodes in, Elden Ring's a big game. Sometimes the quests don't progress as fast as you think they might. Oh, I actually want to take a peek at this. I'm trying to see if there's anything interesting on these reliefs, if we can notice maybe something about the culture of this giant sky temple that fell from the sky. And actually, yeah, we can right here. This kind of looks like an animal of some sort. Let's see. Let's see if we can kind of look close. Yeah, so we look like we have an animal here, maybe with wings, 2 arms, 2 legs, a tail, wings maybe. There's the head. This one looks the same. I don't think maybe there is no wings. Is that wings? Maybe they're different. It's hard to say. And then this looks like kind of like a pot, like a potted plant. It's unique. It's jutting out from the middle, so it's supposed to be unique here. And then something coming out of it. I'm seeing a tree. So what I'm seeing here is this sky temple culture. This sky temple culture from the ruined fragments. If we have any on us, we can take a look. Oh, we have a sanctuary stone, and do we have any ruined fragments? All right, it turns out we did have ruined fragments, but they're considered a usable. They're not going to be in the crafting material menu I was looking for. So, just so we recall, the ruined fragment is a stone fragment found near places where ruins have fallen from the sky. These shards of stone are believed to have been once part of a temple in the sky, and the sanctuary stone has a rare piece of stone fragment found near places where ruins have fallen to the sky. It feeds and strengthens the light that shines within it. So this comes from a sky temple, or a temple that was in the sky or just fell from the sky. There's light built into their stone, and they seem to be some tree worshipping culture, or maybe they're not doing any worship, but definitely trees are part of their iconography. I'm seeing a potted tree, potted plant, and animals like coming from this potted plant. Actually, I didn't know that this was out here. I have my upcoming video, the big video. I've been looking specifically for this relief, of easy way to find it, to be able to get footage of it and talk about it. And luckily it was here. So we're going to go down towards the beach on the cave. It is where Bach told us we should go. We also learned about from Yura about I think he tells us about the dragon temple to be able to do our dragon communion. So we're going to do that as well. Can actually, since we're drawn, I want to just pay attention to some of the game design that they just did here. So right here we come down this area. It narrows our line of sight to look towards this way, and then we have the troll walking towards us. So perhaps we don't want to fight trolls. There's a cliff over that side to the right, so we're not going to run to the right. Instead, we're going to run towards the left. And since we ran to the left, we can see this island straight ahead. Ooh, there looks like something in the middle of this temple. We could see the cave mouth that leads out of here. So it, just from looking at here, we can tell that, it doesn't look like we can get to the island by swimming. So there must be a cave that goes underground. And then if we keep looking down, we see a campfire. And there is most likely a merchant because we see the animal. I think we may be able to skip the troll entirely and just jump down on top of this. Yeah, you could. If you wanted to just go to the beach, you could follow this way. And we also have a message telling us that, and we saw someone else. We saw a phantom actually run past and jump down there. So, these are part of the asynchronous game mechanics that mostly all Miyazaki's games have, where you can see other players, but I think they're put in very specific locations that you are expected to see them at. So, you won't just see, you won't really see many phantoms just wandering in random locations. You might, but I think the game tries to get you to see them in places that are deemed game relevant. Like, those are definitely other players, but it's pulling them from a hat for the most relevant ones. The messages as well. I think the messages are given that as well. I dropped off from using the claymore. We're gonna try the oh goodness gracious, I don't even remember what this weapon's called. After I kill him, I'll look at the weapon again. This episode is a lot of regaining my bearings. It's been a while. I haven't played Elden Ring and just really at all. And I haven't been doing a lot of writing, but I have been doing a lot of thinking. In the time between the last episode and this episode, I finished my reread of Part 2 and Part 3 for A Song of Ice and Fire, the books of Clash of Kings and A Storm of Swords, and it helped me give me a lot of perspective that I was missing from having not read them in a while, and having not read them since playing Elden Ring. So it's been opening my eyes to a few things, and perhaps we'll talk about them when we get to them. Oh yeah, these weapons that we're using right now, this is when we killed the Grafted Scion at the very beginning of the game. The ornamental straight swords, they have golden tempering, which imbues them with a holy essence. It shows the ancient Erd Tree symbol. That Erd Tree symbol that we've seen before is a very wild one. I actually don't know if we know it's ancient, but our characters are prophets, so sometimes we get sights into the future that we shouldn't have yet. After falling from grace, the dregs of the golden lineage sought power and purpose in the past. And if we remember talking to Kenatite, the golden lineage, we have Godric the Grafted and all that. He's the last blood of Godfrey, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him. And isn't that interesting? You should know by looking at him. If the children take after their parents, so you should be able to know by looking at the child that they look like the parent. Yeah, we had to kill that bird. So here we have an invisible Ash of War scarab. We haven't learned what Ashes of War are yet. I think I said what they were in maybe a few episodes ago. But, just to help us, understanding the game while we're going along, the Ashes of War are mementos, are essentially mementos or memories of warriors who died. And then the scarabs, that's what an Ash of War is, and then the scarabs roll up the ashes or the memories or whatever it is. Goodness gracious. We're going to learn that from a character in Limgrave, but, you know, since we're trying to piece together the story and the world as we come across things, I just want to, you know, throw that out there. That's going to be part of our knowledge. There we go. So, stamp sweep. Anything interesting on this one? No, nothing. So, just your generic warrior died down here, and the scarab balled up the memories of it. And we have a Cadence Cell sword sleeping out of fire. I think we've seen at least one other before sleeping out of fire. You can actually hear him snoring. There is a cut mechanic in the game where you were supposed to be able to come up onto sleeping characters and even put some characters to sleep and then take their dreams, and then you would interact with a NPC named Reeling Rico, and you would follow his quest line. It would take you, I think, throughout the entirety of Elden Ring. Oh, it's interesting. You're allowed to summon ashes here. You know, let's do it. We'll clean out these octopus. They might drop something for us. But yeah, you're supposed to be able to collect dreams from people, and then with those dreams, I guess given information, none of the assets still exist. They exist in the game files, and so can the audio, so you can find that if you're interested in looking for it. But essentially, what it does from a lore perspective is it can confirm maybe some theories that you could create from the base game, but I wouldn't use that as, you know, don't go try looking for answers because of it. Instead, I would use cut content to just try and confirm maybe theories that have been developed from the main game. You know, if you can't prove something without cut content, don't use the cut content. If that makes sense. Like if it's all based on the cut content, then, you know, if that's your linchpin for understanding it, then I would shy away from even, you know, going down that line of thought, because then it might have been just cut for a reason. That's more true in the previous Miyazaki games than it is for Elden Ring, because the lore and story was created by George R. R. Martin as well. So there could be a case where they cut things from the game because they didn't want you to get an easy answer. There's a few quest lines like that, and we might talk about them later if it's deemed relevant. But as of right now, I don't, you know. Oh, is this guy? Oh, he's stuck in the rock. That's very safe of him. As of right now, you know, we're going to try and shy away from talking about cut content, because we don't want that to sully our understanding of the game. We can see that this demi-human is inside the rock, and when we first met Bach, he was transformed into a tree. Oh, we got some strength. He was transformed into a tree, and then we found two other demi-humans disguised as trees to ambush us. So that guy was disguised as a rock. String. Boasting no special qualities, this is merely a goodly length of string. Often carried by demi-humans, used to make certain items easier to use. Why would they need it to be easier to use? I guess, you know, maybe the demi-humans aren't as dexterous as a typical human, so they might need rope to be able to make things easier for them. Their smaller hands, maybe they don't. I don't know if they have opposable thumbs. They probably do. And with them, you can make things like the roped pots, which allow you to throw pots backwards. So if you're running away from someone, you could use that. Do I have any glowstones on my hotbar? We have 5. Can we make any more? We need... Oh, you need Dew-Kissed Herba. Oh, we haven't seen what that is yet. So Dew-Kissed Herba and a Ruined Fragment can make us our... can polish the Ruined Fragment so it shines better than Rainbow Stone. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So our glowstone has been polished with Dew-Kissed Herba so we can see in the dark. Oh, and there's our friend Bach, and he's not looking too good. Actually, you know, he's in a lot of pain, and, you know, we should talk to him, but he's in a position where we can really inspect him with our binocular. Or a telescope. So let's see. 4 toes? I think it's 4. Yeah, no. 1, 2, 3. No, they have 5 toes, so just like a human. He's kind of monkey-like. He's got fur, very long. fingers, very long nails. But Bach is dressed like, I think the nobles wear that hat. We'll have to farm some of them to get the hat. Now let's see what his eyes look like. Yeah, I know him, Bach. I'm sorry. We'll take care of you. Oh, he also doesn't have a very good dental plan, it looks like. Anyway, I guess we can't see his eyes, so we'll chat with him.
What are you doing here? You must leave this place at once. They'll rush in and beat you to a pulp. You'll end up just like me. Oh.
All right, so Bach is giving us a warning. They'll run in and beat you like a pulp. They'll rush in, so there's got to be a lot of them there. He came to this cave because he wanted to get us a reward. First, he gave us 5 mushrooms, but here he wants to get us something nicer. It's getting dark in here. Thankfully, we have glowstones. And thanks. This is pretty far away, but you can even see the glowstone gives you a lot of light, and you can see this guy from far away. Cave moss. Just a reminder what cave moss is. Faintly luminescent moss. And we also have herba, which gives off a faint light. So it's very common for the flora in the lands between to give off a light. There is the giant glowing tree in the middle of the map. So perhaps either the glowing tree is why all of this flora? Is it flora or fauna? All these plant life glows. But then we have rocks that glow. Just they got a light within them. So there seems to be some, magical light properties all over Elden Ring and all over the lands between. And it most likely, it probably has to do with the giant glowing tree, as well as, do we have any of the items on us? Perhaps even the golden runes. It's a faint light, but is it a golden light? No, it's not a golden light. Is this a golden light? No, this is just light. And the dusky yellow. This kind of actually, the Erdly flower also has that glow, which makes sense. I mean, the Erd tree's glowing, so I think we can kind of safely say that these things must be glowing because of their relation to the Erd tree. But mushrooms, they do not glow. And then we have these glowing stones. That guy was not too lucky with his. Oh, he actually has a crown too. So he picked up some. He picked up some octopus, land octopus ovaries, and man, he's like a noble guy, and that's what he's doing. We're gonna summon this NPC. This is Old Knight Istvan. Let's take a peek at what he looks like, and why is he here? He isn't here to help Bach. Why did he come here to put his summon sign down? Let's see what he looks like. Fortunately, we can't read his items, so we'll just have to look and kind of guess. He's an old knight. He put the furl calling down. Oh, can you see his eyes? Oh, that'd be interesting. Wait. Come here. Come here, Istvan. No, okay, let's see. Can we look into his eyes? Okay, we can. He won't let me. Maybe in post, let's throw goats in now. Let's see. Okay, can we look at his eyes? Does it look normal? It's hard for to say, but we know he's tarnished. And actually, the glowstone makes it easier to see him. He's got blue around his waist and scales on his armor. Looks like maybe they're like dragon scales that he added to his armor for extra protection. And I think that is, do we have that weapon that he's holding? No, we do not have that weapon. However, just from looking at it, I think that is the weapon the Caden sellswords were holding. So I can't say for certain. I'll have to fight some of the Caden sellswords, see if that is in fact their weapon. But he's a knight with dragon scales. He's tarnished, and he has maybe a sellsword's sword. So this guy could have been a knight and then became a sellsword, or he was a sellsword who was knighted, and now he is in this cave fighting demi-humans, which doesn't seem like very noble work for a knight. Perhaps we'll find at the end of this cave why that knight is here in the first place. Scaled armor. We have 2 demi-human chiefs. Oh, geez, and he's beating me up because I don't have my shield up. And some more demi-humans around him. Oh, what type of magic has this been doing? I think he was just doing some of the gravity magic that we learned from the Alabaster Lord. Let's see if we can do it again. Yeah, that's the Alabaster Lord's magic. So, did this guy kill an Alabaster Lord and gain that knowledge? Maybe did he learn a technique from an Alabaster Lord? Or this Istvan guy, Istvan, I'm saying it right, Knack. This Istvan guy has a pretty interesting history. A sellsword, a knight, and he learned gravity magic. We'll look at the Ash of War to see what it says about that. Oh, I think this is actually our first demi-human chief that we've fought too. So let me look at him a bit. Yes, he's got horns on him. He's attached horns to his armor. Still wearing leathers. He just looks like a bigger demi-human. But he must... Maybe he's... yeah, I guess he might just be the chief because of his size. Oh, he also has markings on him. Just like the queen had markings on her as well. But it looks like he only has it on his arms. Alright. Istvan's dead. That chief was holding the tailoring tools... Or Istvan's not dead. Istvan's leaving. The chiefs are dead. And our rewards are the sewing needle. Large sewing needle, curved like a fang. Bach, the demi-human's prized possession. It's interesting that it's curved like a fang. Maybe it's a curve to make it easier for him. Also has string, and we know that the demi-humans like string. I guess that's a funny connection. You know, he's the only one who's probably using tailoring. He has tailoring tools. This is a portable one, so he gets a sewing needle, and we get the portable set of tailoring tools, which enables us to do armor alteration. But it's kind of funny that Bach is a demi-human, true to his nature. He is interested in the string that he would use as thread, while I guess other demi-humans most likely not interested for tailoring, but to make things easier to use. That's just it's a pretty cute detail. I didn't notice that before. You gotta feel bad killing these demi-humans. You know, they just wander into their cave and you beat them up for no good reason. And just like we saw from up here, this is the cave that leads us to the island. Some of the Fallen Sky Temple, and then some of that mysterious architecture that we've been over there before. That's actually where we got the dismounter, or not the dismounter, the Ash of War that we were just talking about that Istvan has. Let's see if I can look at it. Oh, I think I actually have it equipped on a weapon. Yeah, I have it on that club. Can I actually... Oh, wait, I think if I inspect the club, I'll be able to see what it says. Gravitas, skill originating from the Alabaster Lords who had skin of stone. So, maybe he got the memento for killing someone, or perhaps one taught him. There's our big glowing plant. There's our sun and our moon. We actually don't really see these three guys together that often. And here is our reward. The church. So, is this with old Knight Istvan with his scaled armor, his knight scaled armor, and his sellsword weapon? He was coming to the Church of Dragon Communion. And Yura told us that Dragon Communion is not treacherous. He says it's ruinous. Let's see. Where is our dragon heart? Here we go. Dragon heart seized by a dragon tracker. So Istvan might be a dragon tracker. It's riddled with gravelstone. This grotesque organ continues to beat vivaciously. Oh, it's still alive. An offering used in Dragon Communion. Consume a dragon's heart at the altar to make the power yours. While terrible and savage looking thing, the heart has a peculiar beauty to it. Yeah, it does. More rock at the top. It's kind of looks, if you actually look from bottom to top, it's got an interesting shape. The shape kind of looks like, if you were to rotate a larval tear and then flip it upside down, you can kind of see where the umbilical cord would be in the same spot. You know, that kind of, if you look towards the bottom of the dragon heart and have your eyes carry up towards the right, kind of, you know, maybe. It's just a very interesting looking heart. And then if we also look from from bottom to top, you can see it's very fleshy, and then it goes to rocks towards the top. It's more rock-like the further up it is. But it's kind of interesting that this kind of looks like one of these larval tears, the core of a creature of mimicry known as a silver tear. So why would that kind of look like mimicry? Well, let's examine this altar. But before we do, take note of this temple. There are statues of dragons. Their heads look like the head of this seemingly dead dragon. I mean, the church is caved in, so this dragon must have flown here and then fallen. Let's see. He is on top of the wall. So the church was built before he arrived. He must have crashed into the church, yeah, because the fallen wall is beneath him. He does not look like... I don't know, I shouldn't say he. We don't have its gender. This dragon does not look like the dragon we killed. So for one, he doesn't have any wings, but the statues have wings. So we know this is a winged dragon. He must have flown here. Oh, I don't know if you saw that pop up. My controller's going to die. 1 second. Let me change my controller. And we're back. All right. Anyway. So yes, he doesn't look like, or that it, I don't know if it's a male or female. It doesn't look like the other dragon we fought. This one has 4 legs. And if we hit it, it's made of stone. This dragon is made of stone, just like these statues. And if we look at the dragon heart, riddled with gravel stone. So our other dragon was not made of stone. Our other dragon had feathers. He had kind of protruding bones. But this one looks to be made of stone. Oh. A lot of teeth. He's got a tongue, normal-looking mouth, and these horrible red eyes. Oh my goodness. Look at those dragon eyes. And old knight Istvan was coming here to this abandoned church, and the heads were all decapitated, the statues. So this church was Dragon Church was desecrated. So, and this is in the realm of the Erd Tree. So I'm gonna put 2 and 2 together. I'm gonna say this Erd Tree, not a fan of dragons. This Erd Tree is not a fan of dragons. This culture is not like them. So let's look at the ritual dragon here. And you put our hand up in offering. And here we go. We can look at our dragon spells. One of the incantations of Dragon Communion transforms the caster into a dragon to spew flaming breath. Incantations of those who have hunted dragons and feasted upon their hearts. Theirs is a pure and overwhelming power. So, Istvan was coming here. He was going to kill all those demi-humans to use the power to turn into a dragon. He most likely had a dragon heart. His armor was covered in scales. It looks like he's trying to become a dragon. Yura talks about the path becoming ruinous, attempting to become a dragon. I don't know if he says that they become dragons. I have to relook at his dialogue again. But he mentions that this is, not something you probably want to do. And, we're not going to become a dragon yet because he said it's not good. He warned us, don't do it. We also can't cast any of these spells because we don't have arcane and faith. It's interesting that this is faith, so it's, Church of Dragon Communion. Yeah, type of communion, like in Catholicism, maybe the other, probably other religions as well, but I'm most familiar with Catholicism, being raised Catholic. But I'm not Catholic, so I don't take me as a expert on Catholic rituals, but communion, dipping yourself in holy water, right? Or no, communion is communion in Catholicism is consuming the flesh and blood of Jesus Christ. So you consume a dragon heart in Dragon Communion, and it will turn you into a dragon. But it's not this type of dragon. It's the type of dragon that we killed. We can sell by Just by looking at the images, these look like the dragons that we killed. But we're not going to eat it. Not yet. Maybe in the future. And let's see, can we learn anything else about this church? Like when it was built? It kind of looks like this church looks like a similar design to the Church of El. So whoever built the Church of El most likely also built the Church of Dragon Communion. Actually, this church also looks like the Third Church of America. It's the same design except it has dragons here. So that kind of gives us something interesting to ask. But what's up there? Why does it look like that? Oh, I've never seen this before. Far to the east, you'll find the Cathedral of Dragon Communion, a place where draconic power gathers. Wait, is this just called the... So this is just the church, but if we go to the cathedral to the east, all the way out here, in this scary region, we can get more draconic powers. Oh, that's very interesting. When we see these type of messages, those are developer and NPC messages. So someone in universe wrote that for us to find. But what I wanted to say is that whoever built this church is most likely the same person who built... Yeah, you can actually see it from here. You can kind of see the arching windows. They're a little larger though. But it seems like it was the same craftsman. I wonder if that... What do we get here? Oh, Exalted Flesh. That is something we can craft, I believe. Yeah, we talked about Exalted Flesh already. But this was, I think the chieftains of the Badlands. The Badland warriors like to eat that. So, looks like one of the Badland warriors. And we have more information from the Badland warriors in here. The Lord who led the long march. Do we have anything else about Born Axe and... Oh, it's this one, the Great Axe. Badlands chieftains. So the Lord of the Long March, who was Badlands chieftain, and there was Exalted Flesh, which they like to eat, was most likely over here. I don't know if you heard while I was talking, but my cat Luna yelled. She wanted to sit on my lap, so you won't see her, but just know that for the rest of this video, maybe the next video, she will be with us, listening. We have another Ash of War, so this is the memory of someone who died here. The memory of a warrior who died here. So because... a somber smithing stone. So they didn't actually... That wasn't an Ash of War. That was just a scarab who put up a somber smithing stone. And remember, these look alike. Da-da-da-da. Copies. Colorless copies. Anything else down here? Which church is that? Oh, that is somewhere we haven't been yet. I don't think we could see it from this distance. There's a minor Erd tree, like where we got our first crystal tears. And there's another church, which looks similar to the church that we're just at. That could be our our Cathedral Dragon Communion, but most likely not. It's kind of interesting how, I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but sometimes when I play video games, I play them a little too fast, and I'm not trying to drink in what the game is trying to show us. And I think it's because most games don't really care if you're looking around and what you see, but I think Elden Ring does. One of that is just right here. We had this smithing stone that we picked up here, and it brings you to this vista. The item was just put here so we can end up right here and then look. What do we see? We see these archways going in out from the sea or into the sea from this island. We see another church like the one that we're at. See a building behind it, more of the falling stones, the minor Erd tree, that the rock is built into here. And there we have our waterfall. All stuff we talked about before. But the game is trying to pull us to look at something. So sometimes, sometimes throughout the game, we will find items on people or, just lying around that may not look too interesting. And then we have some of these ships out here. Oh boy. Were they coming or going? I'm going to say probably coming. And they got shipwrecked. The coast is, everything's coming in, so. Anyway, the game wants you to be curious. It wants you to look around. It wants you to explore and enjoy the world. Where I think most video games don't. So we kind of get conditioned to just pick up all the items and then keep going. Oh, here we go. See? And by walking around, we found a great dragonfly head. Which, again, Oh, jeez, hey. That's a horny beast. Which, you know, in essence, isn't that very interesting of loot? Long believed to have the ability to neutralize poisons. You know, when you think bugs, we should think poison. But we come over here and then we could see something new. We haven't been... I don't think we could see this from anywhere else. That is the Chapel of Anticipation, where we defeated the Grafted Scion and fell from there. And then past that, we could see that there's more. There's a big church. A cathedral on this kind of like island kind of thing, like this plateau or something. There's a tower over there. And then there's another minor Erd tree. So it's showing us what's to come. And we were just from looking around and then finding the item. Found the item and look around. But yeah, when I've kind of been conditioned from, I think, playing other games to not enjoy the beauty of these, you know, magical, mythical, and fantastical worlds that they give us. We have to return to Bach and give him back his sewing needle. So let's do that.
Oh, what are you doing here? You must leave this place at once. They'll rush in and beat you to a pulp. Oh, you'll end up just like me. Wait.
I did not. I'd help from a dragon knight.
You got it back for me. My sewing needle.
Oh, very sweet. We love Bach. You can't believe it. He's looking at his hand.
What made you go and do a thing like that? My mum.
Because it was the right thing to do.
And that sewing kit was all I had to remember her by. I always wanted to be just like sweet old mum. Then I suppose I can't just curl up and die, can I?
Okay. Oh, you can hear him crying. Okay, so he supposes he can't just curl up and die, because that's not what his mom would want. His mom was a seamstress, so she most likely taught him how to sew. She probably sewed all of his clothes for him so they would fit him right. Was his mom a demi-human or someone else? It's hard to say. Maybe. Let's see. Would she... We gotta get his items to learn where they came from. I'm gonna have to find... You know what? Maybe that's what I'll do. I am going to farm off screen at some point for these items so we could start talking about Bach a little more. Maybe the next time we run into Bach, we'll start talking about it so we can learn about his hats and stuff. I'll do the farming then. But let's see if he has anything else to say.
You're very kind. I always
That's the only right thing to do.
Like my mum.
All right. Yeah, he can't curl up and die because he was supposed to be a seamstress like his mom. So, wonder who his mom is. Was his mom another talking demi-human, or was it like an adoptive mother who was human? You know, I don't think we have much information. Perhaps we'll be able to figure that out by playing more. He says that we're kind, but I mean, like, you know, I guess all the demi-humans are still alive. Things don't die in this world. I was going to say, like, you know, how kind can we be? We killed all those demi-humans. And let's go talk to this merchant. Another one this is I think our third merchant. We had Kali, the Church of El, and then we had this guy, this nomadic merchant down here. His people, if we recall, I'm just trying to think of what Kali tells us. They're like the Tarnished. I think he says like they're scorned by the Erd tree, scattered to the wind, show no remorse for people who bother you, etc., etc. A lot of crafted jewels. So they does he mention the Grand Caravan? I don't know if the prophetic power's getting away. Well, they're nomads. They used to be together. Now they're all separate. And they all got cute little donkeys.
I don't want any trouble.
All right, looks like he did not want to sell anything to anyone. He's hiding down here. What does he have? Oh, this is for poison buildup. Let's buy... How much money do I have? We have 3,500 runes, so we can get a few things. Okay. A broadsword. I don't want to spend... maybe I should. Okay, we had... Okay, let's just look what he has, and then I'll decide what I want to buy. Poison buildup. That should be good. Let's just buy one. So these are all boluses made of cave moss. I don't know if we can craft any yet. I think we can craft a few. This is for avoiding sleep. It's light purple. Sleep accumulates gradually, causing sudden fogginess and the loss of FP once the threshold is reached. So FP is dictated by your mind. So when you get sleepy, your mind gets a little foggy. Even it does not force the afflicted into a true slumber. So yeah, we won't fall asleep because we're playing a video game. But that's kind of what it's saying there. We have some smithing stone, number 3. We don't really need that. We have 11 right now. We don't need to buy any of them. Armorer's Cookbook, fire arrows, and neutralizing boluses. Oh, some of those. Okay, this is a good one. And this is from Radon. So Radon, I think, it's mentioned in the intro cutscene that, or it's shown, I think it's shown that Radon and Melania fought. Also in the story trail. We're going to do a special episode where we go over the story trail as well. But we know that Radon fought Melania, and he fights with fire, and he's trying to avoid... contains knowledge of dealing with rot. So we have the knowledge... Yeah, so fire deals with rot. There we go. We're building up some stuff for Radon before we meet him. And we can kind of look at the cookbook. I don't think we looked at it previously. Top right, we see a ritual pot that's on fire. And then, I don't know what's to the left of that. Kind of looks like a bird or something. But on the bottom, looks like a lion with a sword. And then where there's fire grease, too. Let's also buy the short bow. Do I actually have any bows right now? Because if I have a bow, I don't need to buy one. No, we don't have any. So, let's buy a short bow. We can buy... Let's buy 30 arrows, and we can make more. An iron round shield. An ordinary round shield made of metal, heavier than a wooden shield, but boasts higher damage negation. Finally balanced, this shield is easy to use. It's nothing really special there. And then we have messages about the land squirts and the stone digger trolls. The stone digger troll was in the cave, the mining tunnel. So we'll see what it says on there, and we'll buy that one because those are lore. And I don't think broadsword. Club. I don't think we'll come back and buy these. Maybe we will, but if I remember, I'll buy these.
Done? Well, be on your way then.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't want to sell. He doesn't want to be bothered. Land squirts are soft when they touch the ground, and poison will cause them to rupture. All right, land squirts don't like sucking in poison, and the heads of stone digger trolls bear old wounds. It's telling us to hit him in the head. It's interesting that they bear old wounds. Let's look at what we can build with our fire arrows. So we need thin beast bones and smoldering butterflies to make 10. And we can make fletched bone arrows. How many do we need to make any arrows? Oh, we have blood arrows too. You know, I'll make some fire arrows. What else were we able to make with that? Oh, the neutralizing bolus, which is, I think that's our first one. It requires herba. That makes sense. Cave moss, so I guess you're packing up the cave moss, putting the herba in there, which has its medicinal qualities, and then the great dragonfly head, because this insect has a history of alleviating poisons. So you're packing in some dragonfly into herba, and the moss is the base. So that's pretty cool. I already bought one, so I think we're fine there. Oh, I have my Saint Trina arrow. We don't want to shoot that one. We're holding on that for later. All right. Sun is setting. The sun is setting over the Church of Dragon Communion. Maybe that means something. Oh, and we can jump back up. Oh, it's just we found our first enemy, so they want to tell us about the bows. Yeah, we're not going to shoot them, but let's look at them. These are the kind of the moving flesh of animal parts that we've seen before. They spawned around those who live in death, so that must mean here they are. We know about those who live in death because of... Oh, I can't look at it because I'm getting attacked. But because of the holy water pot, that's how we know what these things are. They're weak to holy damage, but the holy from the ornamental straight swords do not kill them in one hit, but or cause them from stopping from reanimating. But the sacred relic swords, not the sacred relic sword. So So the holy damage done by the ornamental straight swords, which uses the Erd Tree icon, does not cause them to reanimate. But the holy damage done by the Ash of War, Sacred Blade, as well as the holy water pots, those cause them to not be able to reanimate. We have our Spirit Springs used for Torrent to jump up. Spirit Spring, Torrent is the spectral steed, so only spirits and ghosts can use these things. Maybe does that tell us that spirits and ghosts kind of have like a physical quality to them? They can't run around? Maybe. All right, that was my welcome back to vacation episode. I think we covered a lot. Our next episode, we are going to travel down south. We are going to follow the guidance of grace and see where it takes us. All right, you guys know what to do. Let's do the thing.